What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's just more of the same, isn't it? Since April 11th, every damn wick up comes down. It just all comes back down. Here we are doing it again every single damn time, aren't we? I do think, sorry, I do think this time will be different. I don't believe that it's going to promote lower lows as we continue to progress down. This might just be one final shakeout before ascending higher, right? What we're looking for, ideally, would be a proper reaction off of this area from prior resistance, right? We find some immaculate support and continue to rally. That's what we're looking for. Okay, here we are at about 1.15 cents right now. I don't think that we're going to get below 1.1 cents again. I think that we're done with that. We'll find support here at prior resistance right there, at prior support back here, right? If we put a line right there at 1.1 cents, let's just a little bit below there, whatever. If we go a fraction below 1.1 cents, okay, screw me. But something right around here, prior support, a little bit of turbulence back here, prior resistance right there, and support right there. A little bit of resistance right here, relatively speaking. If we take this relative low to the relative high, that's also right at the base of our golden ratio zone. So I really, truly don't believe we go below 1.1 cents, but we're so close. We're so close to 1.127 cents that I think we have a little bit lower to go. We'll probably go just a little bit lower. So let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom back out and see if we can confirm that, okay? I don't know if I said it, but hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. It is the 14th day of September. Here we are. 1.15 cents right now. RSI does look bearish. The stochastics do look bearish, and the MACD looks bearish as well. Yeah, they all look bearish, so continuing to the downside. What's nice, though, is exactly what we've seen really over the past few months, is that every time we're buying, there's some volume coming in. Every time we're selling, there's no volume there at all, which hasn't really been enough to save the day yet, but it's a sign of exactly what we've been talking about, which is that there's accumulation going on. There's more accumulation going on, I think, than there is distribution going on. Especially in these little bursts, right? We can see it. If we're looking at this on a 4 hour time frame here, you do have lower lows in the RSI while maintaining higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. The stochastics are right here at an area that we like to find support, but again, you could come a little bit lower, and that's fine. So slightly lower lows to be expected, slightly lower prices to be expected, but then we should be finding support here pretty damn soon. The MACD is crossed to the downside, and that's fine, right? Typically, whenever you cross to the downside on the 4 hour, you can see that you get some continuation with that. It doesn't just cross twice, like you don't just have two red bars and then you flip positive from there. Typically, you do go a little bit lower. So, but I feel like this move is kind of, I want to say, manufactured, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel real to me. It's like the move up seems like it's not the real move, but I think this move down is actually the fake move. I think this is the trap. We're going to find support very soon, and maybe even by the end of the day, we'd be moving up again. I think to validate that we are finding our low, that we are moving up higher, I think what we'd want to see is a very proper reaction off of this area. We want to move up at a very fast velocity to prices that are above 1.5 cents. I mean, once we get above 1.5 cents, at that point in time, it really becomes, I think, undeniable that we're doing something different in relativity to this whole range here once we get above 1.5 cents. But time will tell. You know, we did something different back here, and unfortunately it did not persist. We were just finding resistance, but if we kind of, let's try and draw a line of best fit here. I'm not going to use, should I use this high? Would that be a line of best fit, or should I use this high? Like something like this. Should I draw it like, maybe like this? Maybe shave it down. I feel like that's a pretty good line of best fit right there. Right? Because then, hold on. Then we get the touch point here. You back tested it for support there. I don't know both these lines, but if we get above, you get above 1.4 cents really, then you're doing something different, I think, other than excluding this one instance here. I suppose 1.6 cents will be that thing, that'll be that final kind of descending line that we'd look to break out of before really getting too excited. But I think once we get above 1.4 cents, 1.5 cents, it's time to start really getting excited. Sorry. I do believe that we have a lot higher to go, you guys. I don't think that it stops here. We looked at the 4 hour time frame already. Let's look at the daily time frame, okay? And then we'll pull up the ribbons too. I want to look at the ribbons on this. We haven't looked at that in a little bit of time. From a high here to a low here, We found support in a kind of weird area, an odd area, in all fairness, but we've done that before, really throughout this range, and that's fine. Maybe this fib isn't the one that we're respecting. Maybe it's another fib. Let's take this somewhat significant fib down here from a high to a low. We definitely respected this fib on the way up, high to a low here. You know, we found support at the 1414, found resistance at the 1886, came all the way up, found resistance directly at the 2618. We found support here at the 200, 1886 level, right there at the 1414 again. We're finding support around the golden ratio, but again, it's not as significant, and maybe that's because it's so far away. So, but nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to find significance in these areas going higher. Overall, let's look at this maybe low to high then. Low to high. Still kind of odd, right? Still kind of odd. You are respecting this fib a lot more. I like the respect on this one a lot more. But I would almost think that you go to the 786. And again, if OnyxCoin happens to go below 1 cent, we go down to 0.0099. Okay, whatever. It's a slightly lower low. We should have an immaculate reaction from there. We'll probably get bullish divergence furthering on our daily time frame. I don't like the rejection off the overbought zone, if we're being honest. I don't like the rejection off the overbought zone on the stochastics. The MACD is looking like it's shaping up to do some good stuff here, but again, we could go a little bit lower than the current price. I'm still not under the influence or under the impression, I should say. I am under the influence now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, man. I'm dry as a whistle. And we're going to church soon. But let's see. What was I gonna say? I was saying that we're probably gonna go lower from here, but I'm not under the impression that we go lower than this low. Okay, me and my jokes with words. Let's see, 1.15 cents now. I very much do believe that we have higher to go, you guys. I feel a little bit remorse with this coin because I feel like I should have stacked more than I have, right? I recently paid like 3 months worth of rent, and I was like, damn, instead of doing that, not because I was behind, but because I want to pay ahead of time. Instead of doing that, I should have just put some in OnyxCoin and then waited 3 months, and then, you know, you probably have more. But it's good. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but some of the best things that I've ever done with earnings, like profits from investing, is paying for rent in advance. Doing that, you guys, oh my goodness. Talk about months of just stress-free, just completely. You're actually saving money, and of course it offsets because you spent money. But you know, whatever. I don't know. I highly encourage anybody and everybody, if and when you take profits by the end of the cycle, that you pay some rent in advance, or your mortgage or whatever. Like put some real money toward that stuff, because man, that really takes a lot of stress. It alleviates a lot of things. Don't go buy something stupid. Don't just spend all your money on a vacation or on a new car or on a new computer or on a bunch of clothes or on this girl that you're trying to impress, gentlemen. I would say that to the ladies, but ladies don't really do that so much. You can do other things to impress men, like handstands maybe. I don't know. Anyways. By the way, on that note, do some handstands, you guys. Handstands are great for you. They really are. If you can't do handstands, you can learn how to do them in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. If you do a handstand every day, I bet you could learn how to do them in 2 weeks if you're dedicated to it. 10 minutes a day, you could learn how to do it in 2 weeks, and then you'll impress people. And it's so simple. It's like you're just walking, but upside down. Anyways, why am I talking so much about this? I'm in some kind of mood today. Weekly time frame. Looking at this here. Yes, I'm a weirdo. But that's good, right? We don't want to be normal here. We want to be weird. If we're looking at this here, I'd very much expect that we continue to rally. Probably 7.2 to 10 cents. That's a nice area to find resistance right there. And then you consolidate a little bit and continue to rally all the way up to this 21 to 27 cent area right there. That'd be my expectation, because from a high to a low, that lines up pretty damn well with our 26 to 32 cent area here at the 1886200. I think it's much more likely, in my opinion, that we stop below 30 cents rather than going above 30 cents. But, you know, 3786, 1886, these areas, typically you can wick a little bit above there. So 32 cents is possible. I've seen a lot of cryptos this cycle that have gone just above the 200 as well. So, I mean, we can do this or that, whatever, but I think we will be closer to 26 cents than 32 cents, something probably below 30 cents by the end of this rally. And I'm expecting this to be attained by the end of October. But if it happens to take until the end of the year, I'm just saying it myself. While I would like it to happen sooner, I am okay with that. I'm okay with it taking until the end of the year. That's fine, right? Give it to me during Christmas time. Ho, ho, ho. 26 to 32 cents. I don't care when it comes, if it's October's end or December's end. We're going to get there at some point by the end of this year, okay? I would truly expect that it is by the end of October just because of how fast this thing moves. It would make a lot of sense in my opinion, but anything can happen. We'll see how it goes. And right now, first and foremost, we just have to establish that this is the low, and we'll do that once we get above, technically, 1.4 cents, but I think ultimately 1.6 cents. And then we can really start to celebrate. The haters will probably be really loud at first, right around here. They'll be like, oh, are you buying the fake pump again? And then it'll start to pump. They'll be like, yeah, it's going to dump. This thing's a scam. And then once we're back around these highs, once we're really getting above like 3 cents, you're probably going to hear crickets from there on, right? And then you won't hear anything until we're at the top. And what you're going to hear is, you just got lucky. You got lucky. You got lucky because this or that happened. You got lucky. This would have never pumped if it wasn't for this. It's like, no, we didn't get lucky. We did our homework. We knew. We knew all along what this thing's got in store for us. Anyways, guys, I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Bye.